After a long battle in court, starting in the 2015-2016 school year, many colleges across America will be instituting something called cost of attendance, which is essentially all of the costs they incur to have their student athletes attend 1 year of school. That means colleges need to come up with that extra money somehow, and they need to do it fast. At big schools, this is just an extra expenditure. At smaller schools, though, coming up with the cash might be the biggest obstacle they face in terms of surviving sports-wise. Now, in a landmark action for major college sports, schools and athlete representatives from the NCAA's 5 wealthiest conferences, the Power 5 as they are known, back in January, voted to what essentially amounts for money due for an athletic scholarship compensation for each student, expected to range from $2,000 to $4,000. And then when you add up the number of student athletes involved, especially in these revenue-generating sports, you could understand how expensive this could become. Now, our next guest is doing his part to help his school do their best to adjust to this massive change. Rick Stockstill is the head football coach at Middle Tennessee State University and willingly deferred a $100,000 bonus owed to him to help the school offset the cost of attendance we talked about by kicking that money back into the school. That's quite the gesture. He joins us tonight here on SportsCenter. Coach, I got to ask you, this is a pretty magnanimous thing you've done. What led you to do this?
Well, Zubin, during December, during the recruiting part of the calendar after our season was over, I was getting asked a lot of questions by the recruits if we're going to be able to do cost of attendance. Our players, our current players, ask us during the course of the year, were asking me if we were going to be able to provide that for them. So as you're driving up and down that road in December, I had an idea that I'd take it to Chris Massar, our athletic director, and Dr. Sidney McPhee, our president, and see if there's a way that we could, restructure my contract to make sure our players and our recruits were going to have the same opportunities that everybody else had, because in my opinion, they deserved it. We've been to bowls, or been bowl eligible 6 out of the last 9 years. Our APR is 992, and we're graduating our guys at a high level. So I just wanted to do my part, anything I could, to ensure that our players and our recruits got what they deserved.
That's incredible. The $100,000 at a school at your size is certainly going to go a long way and will probably resonate far beyond just the football program. I got to ask you, though, because as you know, unfortunately, the NCAA is now getting to a have and have not situation in terms of resources. In that sense, how much do you think smaller schools like yours are going to have trouble coming up with this money each and every year? Because, Coach, as you know, or anybody that has kids knows, the cost of attending college rises seemingly every year.
Yes, sir. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be some tight times for everybody at our level. And you go back a year ago when the NCAA allowed us to provide the athletes unlimited meals. Last year was the first year we could do that. Well, we were able to give our guys 3 meals a day, 3 meals a week, an extra meal a week during the course of the season. We didn't have enough money to do that in the spring. So, just little things like that, you throw that into the big picture of what it costs for an athlete to go to school, and now the cost of attendance. We're having to play, team out Alabama out of the SEC, Illinois out of the Big Ten, to help offset some of the cost that we're going to have with the cost of attendance and the unlimited meals.
Before I let you go, I got to ask, student athletes have been asking for this for quite some time, going back to the Ed O'Bannon days. We're talking more than 20 years to get these sort of changes implemented. But from guys like yourself that have been around the college game a long, long time, the fellow coaches, your colleagues, what's the reaction been from them when they heard about your gesture?
I've heard from a lot of more players than I have coaches. A lot of former players, current players have called, even ones that, I coached when I was at South Carolina and Clemson and other places. So I've heard from a lot of former players, probably more so than coaches. But I hope everybody will look at, this isn't about me. I didn't do it to get this attention. That's not me. I did it because I want to make sure our players get everything that they deserve, because they're doing everything right on and off the field here. And I just wanted to do my part or anything I could to ensure that we're going to be able to provide this benefit to them.
Yeah, you indeed are putting all of the credit towards your players, but I think you should stop and notice that some of the credit does deserve to go right back onto you for what you've done, because I think you're going to allow a lot more student athletes to stay at MTSU, and you're taking a big headache off the school. So congratulations on a great gesture, and best of luck this season to you and your squad.
Thanks, Zubin. Appreciate you having me on.
You got it, sir. Thank you.